Hey, what's up guys? It's Foster at IAG Performance, and I'm super excited for this video because we've got not one but two Subaru Foresters that I'm going to be talking about today. This is the owner here, this is Chaz. So how much power does the blue Forester make?
About 700 horsepower.
And what's going on with that white Forester in the background?
It's actually a drift car. It also makes about 400 horsepower.
So first things first, I want to talk about the engine setup. So would you mind popping the hood?
Sure.
I love the World Rally Blue on these Foresters. It's super rare to find them in this color. Was this car originally World Rally Blue or did you have it repainted?
I had it resprayed.
I'm assuming that you started with an XT as a base model?
Yep, it was automatic. It was rear-ended. Had a bunch of issues with the motor and transmission. It's basically just a shell.
You basically started from scratch putting this whole thing together. And obviously it's not the original XT engine. Is there anything on the car that's still original?
Maybe just the bare chassis and the dash.
So go ahead and tell us about what type of block you're running and the turbo setup. I see you're running a rotated turbo. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so the turbo is a G35 900. I had the rotated kit custom fabricated by Andrew Tech, or now bespoke. But the block is it's an older build, so it's an IAG Stage 3 Magnum. And it's got some Manley rods and pistons in it. It's also got the IAG Firelock head gaskets, and it's been machined for that with the 14mm head studs.
So can you tell us a little bit about the fuel setup you're running?
Yeah, so it's the Radium dual pump fuel hanger, but I just have a single 535 Walbro pump in it. And then it's still stock fuel lines coming from the tank. And then I got a Fuel Lab fuel pressure regulator, and then an older flex fuel kit, and then ID 1700 injectors.
So I did see you got the coolant expansion tank. Is that just to give yourself a little bit more room with the rotated turbo?
Yeah, because the factory tank sits right here. So with the big turbo there, you don't have a lot of room to work with.
So I actually met Chaz at Boxer Fest. That's how we decided to film this video. And if you've been going to the event, you've probably seen his blue Forester in the car show the last couple of years. So I definitely want to show you what this thing's like. Why don't we go ahead and hop in? We got working AC. These bolsters on these Forester STI seats feel great. So it's a nice daily for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very comfortable. And it's still not too uncomfortable to have a conversation while you're driving.
Yep, I mean you can hear the triple disc clutch, but really it's not too bad. Oh yeah, that sounds great. I love the sound of the external gating. Okay, so in addition to Chaz's 700 horsepower Forester that we just took a ride in, he's also got this really cool drift car. So can you tell us a little bit about it? Obviously, you know, it's got an angle kit. That's one of the first things you notice about it. What type of setup do you got going on here?
So it's still mostly Subaru parts. It's a custom front angle kit made from FDF, but bare bones is still a Subaru block. I believe it's the 550 block. It's still got the Subaru STI transmission. I took the center diff out of that and got a rear-wheel drive spool from ZF Designs, so that locks it to straight rear-wheel drive. And then I went ahead and put the STI limited slip rear diff in it, and so far it's doing great. I did snap a lot of axles once I started getting into the 400 horsepower area, so it's got DSS axles rated for 900 horsepower.
Makes sense because the stock axles on these things are like little toothpicks. And do you clutch kick when you drift this car, or how do you initiate your drift?
Very rarely do I have to clutch kick. Normally I can just turn the wheel and gas it, and it's got enough power there to just initiate the drift. A couple other things I did, since it's a drift car and you need proper oiling, especially at the G-forces that you're at. I have an IAG Stage 2 oil pump on here, as well as the Competition Series oil pan and baffle with the pickup. Keeps the motor well oiled at any angle or any G-force in any direction.
So if someone wanted to recreate a setup like this, what should they estimate to make a Forester drift car?
It depends how reliable you want to be. Because the axles themselves, they were probably about $1,500 just for the rear axles, and then the rear drive spools, I believe that was like $850. So it does add up, but it's not quite as involved as making a 1,000 horsepower Subaru, if that makes sense.
The cool part is when you go to the drift track, you have to be the only one there with a Forester.
There's a few out there that I've seen online. They're pretty cool. But in person, I've only seen 2 other Subarus drifting, but they were just non-turbo. They welded the center diff. They weren't built quite to this extent.
So we let the car warm up a little bit, and Chaz is gonna show us what this thing's like with the angle kit. Supposedly it's really easy to do donuts, so I wanna see for myself. Definitely smells like a drift track, but yeah, that's really impressive that you're doing that in a Forester, man. Hope you guys enjoy those clips. Well, there you have it, guys. It turns out Subaru Foresters make great drift cars, especially when they're driven by Chaz. Hey, good work, man. Thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for showing off your clean Forester. And if you guys like seeing this type of content, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video.